Good morning, fourth graders. I hope you're having a thankful Thursday. Welcome back to another language class. The last time we were together on Tuesday, we talked about adjectives. Remember, adjectives are words that describe nouns. I brought with me last time my plant. And remember, a plant is a noun, it's a thing. And I tried to describe it with as many words as I could, like tall or pokey, white, green, slender, round, sphere. There's lots of different words that we can use to describe plants and people and places and things and ideas. The sky's the limit there. Well, today we're going to continue to discuss adjectives. We're going to start out with a little bit of review first. You probably remember my big chart that I had up on the board on Tuesday. I'll bring it up a little closer so you can see it this time. Last time we were together, we talked about this row right here. Why don't we go one row up? The noun is what you see in the picture. That's the item. And how it's being described is the adjective down below. The trumpet is shiny. Can you think of another adjective that we could use to describe trumpet instead of shiny? Maybe it's golden, or perhaps it's loud. The gloves are wool. What would be another appropriate adjective for this picture? Maybe red, fuzzy. The pencil here is sharp. What would be an adjective that is the opposite of sharp? Dull. And this last one here, the rock. It's hard. What would be another appropriate adjective to describe that rock? Perhaps gray. Depending on the size, it could be small, it could be large, heavy, or light. Adjectives, they make our world a better place, I think. I'm so glad we have adjectives to enjoy. We've talked about adjectives with our plants. It could be this one, like I mentioned on Tuesday, or it could be this one from school. Remember this guy? Yep, he's quarantined at home with me, and I just watered him yesterday because remember, I water on Wednesday. So adjectives are all around us, and I bet if you started to make a list of things that are in your room and then go out to the side and describe those things, you would find out that there are adjectives all around you. Let's do a little bit more review from when we were together on Tuesday. I shared with you on Tuesday that adjectives describe nouns. Remember, a noun is a person, a place, a thing, or an idea. We had some motions with that. A noun names a person, place, thing, or an idea. We talked about how adjectives will always describe nouns, and there are 5 questions that adjectives can answer about nouns. Do you remember what they are? See if you can say them before I do and before they appear up on the screen. Which one? What kind? How many? How much? Whose? Let's say those together. Which one? What kind? How many? How much? Whose? Let's say them together one more time. Which one? What kind? How many? How much? Whose? Very good. The last time we were together on Tuesday, we talked about adjectives, and we're going to continue to talk about adjectives today. But today we're talking about some special adjectives. We're actually going to be talking about 2 different kinds of special adjectives. The first of the special adjectives are called articles, and we can actually memorize all of the articles because there are only 3: a, an, and the. A and an will always be used before a singular noun. An is very special. An's kind of my favorite because you can only use an before a noun that has a vowel sound. And I'll show you what I mean about that in just a minute. The article the You can use that in front of a noun, whether it's singular or plural. But a and an can only be used in front of singular nouns. Remember, singular means one. The next one are called demonstratives. Don't be scared of demonstratives. I know they sound a little bit like monsters. They will not scare you, I promise. We actually are not going to talk about demonstratives this year. You're going to talk about those next year. But just in case, the demonstratives are this, that, these, and those. I like them because it's what? Alliteration. The second type of special adjective that we're going to be talking about today are proper adjectives. Proper adjectives are super easy to identify because a proper adjective will always begin with a capital letter, no matter what, and no matter where it's located in the sentence. It will always begin with a capital letter. Like American. In our classroom, we have an American flag. What kind of flag do we have? An American flag. Now, careful, it sounds a whole lot like the noun America. Don't get those two confused. America is the noun, but American is the proper adjective. It describes something as being from the country of America. Another proper adjective would be Spanish, like Spanish rice, a Spanish mission. Spanish will always start with a capital S, no matter where it's located in the sentence. This is a proper adjective because it comes from the noun Spain. The last one that we have here as an example is Italian, like Italian bread. Italian is the proper adjective. The noun would be Italy. Now, there's definitely a lot more proper adjectives than what I have here, but many of your proper adjectives will be used in relation to a country. Now, remember, all adjectives, it doesn't matter whether it's an article, a, and the, a proper adjective, they will always describe nouns. Remember, a noun names a person, place, thing, or an idea. Okay, go ahead and open up those language books if you haven't already to lesson 122. Today we're on pages 239 and 240. Let's look at page 239 together, starting with section 1. Section 1, our task is to determine whether the article a or an should come before the noun. Now, before we get started, just to review, a and an can only be used in front of singular nouns. But it's what the noun starts with, the sound that it starts with, that's really important. We're going to use the article a if a consonant sound starts the noun. We're going, oh, it kind of reminds me of the color. What color is this card? Pink. This is a pink card. Pink starts with P, which is a consonant, and it has a consonant sound. The other one, an. We will use an in front of a noun that starts with a vowel sound. Like, what color is this card? Orange. This is an orange card. This is a pink card. Pink, orange. A, an. Let's decide which article goes with which number. Let's begin. Number 1, peanut. Peanut. Does that have a vowel sound or a consonant sound? A consonant sound. So will we choose a or an? A. You go ahead and write A in the blank. Number 2, alligator. Alligator. Does alligator start with a vowel sound? Yes, it does. So we will choose an alligator. Write an in the blank for number 2. Number 3, igloo. Igloo. Does it start with a consonant sound, or does igloo start with a vowel sound? It starts with a vowel sound. So which article will we choose? A or an? An. Number 4, school. Oh my goodness, I miss being in school with you. One day we'll see each other again, I know. School. Does school start with a vowel sound or a consonant sound? A consonant sound. So we will use the article a. Go ahead and write A in the blank. You probably noticed that I had 2 extras out to the side with little stars beside those. Those are just for fun. You will have some tricky ones on the back, and that's why I included these 2 on the board. I'd like for you to decide whether an A or an should go in front of these 2 nouns. Honor, hat. Honor, hat. Remember what we've learned. A goes in front of a consonant sound. An comes in front of a vowel sound. Before you get your final answers going, what letter do both of these nouns begin with? An H. You are correct. However, one will be an and one will be a. Why will they be different? Well, did you notice how both of these words sound? Do I pronounce this first one as honor? Oh no, that does not have a consonant sound. It's as if the H is silent. Honor, because honor starts with a vowel sound. Which one will we use? The an article. Remember, this one is just a sample. The last one, hat. Hat. Hat begins with a consonant sound. Therefore, we will use the article a. Okay, let's go ahead and look in your book. We've already done numbers 1 through 4 together. Let's go down to section or sentence number 5, please. For number 5, you're choosing the, a, or an. Remember, a and an come before singular nouns. The can come before both, singular or plural. And can only be used in front of a vowel sound. Number 5, the or an saguaro. Now, I don't even need to read the rest of the sentence. I just need to read the word that comes after the article, saguaro. Saguaro begins with a consonant sound, so I cannot choose an. An is not an option for me. So the is going to be our choice. Go ahead and underline the one time with your pencil. Let's move on to number 6, barrel. Barrel. Does barrel begin with a vowel sound or a consonant sound? Barrel begins with a consonant sound. Therefore, an is not an option for us to choose. Let's underline the one time with our pencil. Number 7, prickly. Prickly. Does it start with a vowel sound or a consonant sound? Prickly, a consonant sound. Therefore, a is our choice. Number 8, juice. Juice. Juice begins with a consonant sound. Therefore, we will choose a. An is not an option for us because juice begins with a consonant sound and not a vowel sound. Let's go on to number 9. Number 9 is talking about some more of those special adjectives. And the other special adjectives that we were talking about today, other than articles, were the proper adjectives. Remember, proper adjectives will always begin with a capital letter. That's your big hint. Okay, so we need to be on the lookout for words that begin with what kind of letter? A capital letter. Let's look at the first one. Do you see a word that begins with a capital letter? Yes, I actually see 2 words that begin with capital letters. The first word is the, but we know the is an article. What are our articles again? A, an, and the. There are only 3 articles, and articles are always adjectives. There's only one other word in this entire sentence that begins with a capital letter, so that must be our proper adjective, just by process of elimination alone. Number 10. Once again, I see 2 words that begin with a capital letter. The first word is my. Now we know that my is from our pronoun list, so we're not going to choose my in this case. But look at the word Japanese. It comes from the noun Japan. Japanese is describing what kind of restaurant this sentence is referring to, a Japanese restaurant. Take your pencil and underline Japanese one time. It is our special adjective. And this special adjective is called a proper adjective because it begins with a capital letter, always. In the next section, for numbers 11 and 12, these 2 sentences also include proper adjectives. However, they have forgotten to capitalize them. So let's go ahead and use our proofreader marks, our editor marks, to correct that. Let's start with number 11. For number 11, we see the word Mexican. Mexican refers to the country of Mexico, our neighbor to the south. Let's take the M in Mexican that's lowercase, and that needs to be capitalized. Let's take our pencil and underline the lowercase m 3 times. 1, 2, 3. That means it needs to begin with a capital letter. Move on to number 12. See if you can find the mistake. Did you find it? The I in Italian needs to be capitalized. 1, 2, 3. There we go. All right, there's one other thing that we're going to go over, and that is we're going to review a little bit of our diagramming. So I'm going to share my screen with you so you can see what I can see, just to review a little bit from Tuesday before we dive on into our diagramming. Remember, diagramming always starts with a straight line. If you can draw a line, you're on your way to diagramming. We always start with a straight line. Then we take that straight line and cut it in half. The simple subject goes on the left, and the simple verb goes on the right. On Tuesday, I introduced to you how to diagram an adjective, and that's what I would like to review right now. An adjective always gets diagrammed underneath the noun that it describes, just like this. The hungry dog waited in his house. This is our same sentence that we saw on Tuesday. Remember, in his house is a prepositional phrase. So I'm going to mark it off with my parentheses. My subject and verb are not allowed within that, within those, I've lost the word. Prepositional phrase. Thank you for bearing with me. All right, who or what is this entire sentence about? Dog. What is the dog doing? Waiting. Hopefully it's waiting patiently. Hungry is describing dog as well as the. Remember, the is an article, and articles are always adjectives. The and hungry will go underneath dog on diagonal lines. Okay, let's practice one together. Let's practice number 13. Let's always start by identifying the words in the sentence first. 13 says, the new teacher is Chinese. Who or what is this entire sentence about? It's about teacher. That's our subject. What is the teacher doing? Well, the teacher is not doing anything in this sentence. The teacher is just existing. We have a linking verb here. Is always a linking verb. Let's look at the other 3 words that are located in this sentence. What kind of teacher do we have? A new teacher. Which teacher do we have? The teacher. Remember, the is an article, and articles are always adjectives. But let's look to see if there's something that comes after the linking verb. Because remember, a linking verb must always connect the subject to a word after the linking verb. The new teacher is, well, what is she? She's Chinese. This is a predicate adjective. It's describing the teacher. It's giving us a little bit more information about her. Now, I'm going to go ahead and start by our first step of diagramming, which is to just draw a line. After the line is drawn, cut it in half. On the left side, write our subject. On the right side, let's write our verb. Remember how I said how the adjectives always go underneath the word that they describe? That is the case with the and new. I will draw two diagonal lines. The came first in my sentence, so the comes first on the diagram. Because it's capitalized in the sentence, it will always be capitalized in the diagram as well. Our next adjective is new, telling us what kind of teacher we have. We're so close to being done. We have one word left. Remember the alliteration that I taught you on Tuesday? If we have a linking verb, we must then have a lazy leaning line to the left. Chinese will fit right there. We might have to extend our line just a little bit though. And there you have it, okay? This one was a little bit different because it came after the linking verb. If we have an adjective that comes after a linking verb and it's renaming or describing our subject here, it's always going to go after the verb with that lazy leaning line to the left. Okay, guys, it's time for you to go ahead and flip the page, turn to page 240, and try that independent practice page on your own. And I'll be checking in with you during our FaceTimes and our Google Duos and Zooms and all of our different forms of communication. If you come into any struggles or you have any questions, just circle that and be sure to ask me when we talk a little bit later on today. Bye, guys. See you later.